Welcome to Guides, English Language and Literature. This chapter highlights the stark contrast between appearances and reality. Aunt Alexandra hosts her missionary circle, a group of Maycomb's upper-class women who claim to care about distant African tribes while ignoring the injustices in their own community. Their conversation is filled with hypocrisy, as they express sympathy for foreign black people but show contempt for local black residents like Tom Robinson's family. The gathering is interrupted by Atticus, who delivers the devastating news that Tom Robinson was shot and killed while trying to escape from prison. This heartbreaking but unsurprising incident reinforces that even an innocent black man sees no hope in the legal system. Despite their grief and frustration, Aunt Alexandra, Miss Maudie and Scout return to the gathering, demonstrating grace under pressure and the quiet strength of women in the face of injustice. Hypocrisy. The missionary circle's patronizing discussion about African people contrasts with their racist attitudes toward their own black neighbors. This highlights how social prejudice is often masked by performative morality. The theme of moral courage is evident as Aunt Alexandra, Miss Maudie and Scout compose themselves after hearing about Tom's death. Rather than showing outward distress, they continue with the gathering, demonstrating the idea that strength is sometimes found in quiet resilience. Finally, the burden of justice weighs heavily on Atticus. He not only fought for Tom Robinson in court, but must now carry the weight of his tragic fate. His exhaustion and sadness reveal how morality comes at a personal cost. The missionary tea party serves as a microcosm of Maycomb. The way these women speak about morality while engaging in racism mirrors the town's broader hypocrisy. They see themselves as virtuous and charitable, but their actions uphold injustice. Tom Robinson's death reinforces the mockingbird motif. Like the symbolic mockingbird, he did no harm, yet he was targeted and ultimately destroyed by society. His fate highlights how innocence and goodness are often crushed by prejudice. Scout's perspective on womanhood changes in this chapter. She begins to see that strength is not just physical or outspoken. Sometimes it is quiet and dignified. Her ability to mimic Aunt Alexandra's composure shows her growing maturity. Aunt Alexandra, often seen as strict and prejudiced, reveals a more compassionate side. Her distress over Tom's death shows that she is not as indifferent as she sometimes appears. Miss Maudie continues to act as the moral voice in Maycomb. She subtly calls out the hypocrisy of the other women, reinforcing her role as one of the few truly just characters in the novel. Atticus, who has always stood firm in his beliefs, is visibly shaken in this chapter. His reaction to Tom's death humanizes him, reminding us that even the strongest individuals feel the weight of injustice. This chapter reflects the harsh realities of racial injustice in the 1930s. Black men, especially those accused of crimes, were often killed extrajudicially, and their deaths were explained away as justified by the legal system. Tom Robinson's fate mirrors real-life cases of racial violence. The hypocrisy of the missionary circle reflects a historical truth. Many white women participated in charitable efforts abroad while upholding segregation and racism at home. This contradiction highlights how racism was deeply woven into social expectations. Finally, this chapter remains relevant to modern readers. Discussions of racial inequality, systemic injustice, and performative allyship are still ongoing today, showing that the themes of To Kill a Mockingbird transcend its historical setting. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.